Hello, my name is Nathaniel. I am the coach for the drive team of the Robo Raiders.
And I'm Aiden, and I'm the driver.
I'm Austin, I'm the driver/operator.
Today we're going to be reviewing our matches from our state tournament and kind of walking through what went wrong in our matches.
So throughout the day, we ran into a lot of issues with our robot, mainly our autonomous, and we ended the day with a rank of 35 out of 38.
Bruh.
However, we did win the Inspire Award, so we're moving on to Worlds.
So welcome to...
Okay, so our first match at States is qualification match 9. Here we are running our autonomous, but you can see on the right, on the closer side, our alliance partner pushed our stack of cones and the other team's stack of cones. So right there was 90 minor penalties right there. But and then with our robot, we scored our preloaded cone, but I lined up the robot wrong and we weren't able to collect off of the stack in autonomous.
So our general idea here was to cycle onto the high junction for most of the match, and then with about 50 seconds left to try and own as many junctions as possible and possibly defend our circuit or prevent the Red Alliance's circuit. So we were hoping our alliance would be able to complete a circuit. That didn't end up happening, so we just stuck with cycling onto the high junction because that's what we knew we could get the most points doing.
So we felt like at the competition we were one of the fastest cycling teams there. However, that doesn't exactly show in our rankings, but we felt like we were pretty darn good.
Some action over on the blue side of the field. The teamwork between Titans and Raiders. We see Titans manipulating cones out of the substation. Raiders also trying to grab cones from the substation. Raiders go up, take aim at 5 points, and sink it for the Blue Alliance. Minute remaining in the match, Red Alliance still leads and is very close to achieving a circuit. TNT is going to drop off one of the 2 cones that they are going to need, and it looks like we might be trying to finish that circuit in the far terminal for the Red Alliance. These teams do achieve a circuit if they are able to connect the 2 corners of the playing field as indicated by that red tape. They need to start in the terminal, make their way across the field, and end in the opposing terminal. We do see for the Blue Alliance, 71-29, Robo Raiders, they reclaim possession of one of those terminals with 30 seconds remaining in the match.
So here we're going to the high junction to block the Red Alliance's circuit, and then we're coming back to get our beacon and score it onto the low junction close to the terminal to really make sure that they can't get a circuit by just reclaiming that high junction.
So unfortunately, we ended up losing in this match due to all of those minor penalties, which is super unfortunate, but sometimes that's how life goes.
So we were able to still score 9 cones onto the high junction and block the Red Alliance's circuit just by ourselves, but with our autonomous failing and our alliance scoring minor penalties, we still weren't able to win.
So for the second match, we ran into the exact same problem that we did with the first match for our autonomous. It unfortunately did not work.
So one of the problems that we were having with autonomous was the rubber band you can kind of see holding the collection up, and it was a little bit too tight. So there were some points where the collection would be too high of an angle, so it wasn't able to collect or score because of that. We didn't realize that till after the competition though.
So in this match, our alliance partners, their strategy was basically go over the brown junction and collect a cone and score it on the high junction. So they were primarily a cycling team, which is also what we do, but we felt like we were very comfortable with spreading cones around, so we allowed them to be able to cycle. However, you did see a second ago that the Blue Alliance put a cone on that ground junction to prevent our alliance partners to cycle very quickly. So we actually switched our strategies mid-game. The coaches communicated, and so we started cycling, and our alliance partners started to own as many junctions as possible.
For an FTC game anyway, with all these posts in the way, these teams have to have a lot of drive practice to be able to navigate cleanly through these junctions.
So during this match, our planning was very poor when it came to what if something changes, and you could see a lot of times we would ram into our alliance partners because just our pathings didn't mesh well with each other. So that is what happened.
So it would have been definitely nice if we could have had time to practice on the practice field with our alliance partner before going into this match, but we really didn't have time. And so that's something that we are hoping to get time for at Worlds, since there'll be a little bit more time between the matches, but we'll see.
They've got a line of 4 cones, nothing in the terminals yet. They've got 1 beacon in hand, the Robo Raiders do. So that is 1 beacon down now for red. Blue, Nyan Robotics with a beacon down in the center of the field, locking down that center junction. We see another blue beacon rolling across the field, but not scored yet.
So in that match, we unfortunately lost again, but not to say as an excuse, but a lot of things went wrong in that match and we really couldn't prevent it. Maybe better planning, but that's how it went.
Alright, so for our autonomous this match, as you will see, our turntable was going wonky.
So there were a lot of differences between the practice field and the competition field, we found out, and that was something that a lot of teams had noticed. So we kind of changed the autonomous to fit the practice field perfectly, so we ran a bunch of times there and it worked. But then every time we got to the competition field, it didn't work for some reason.
So here, obviously our autonomous went wrong, and then Austin stopped the program during the auto period, and he was unaware of that it was a major penalty, and we unfortunately gained a major penalty because we stopped it during auto.
Yeah, so before the match we had discussed what would happen if our turntable just kept spinning and the robot was running into random things. And so the human player and I, we discussed just stopping the program during the match. However, we didn't realize that that was a penalty, so we did get a major penalty for that.
From strategizing with our teammates, we decided we wanted to score in our terminal and then low and then just cycle on high. So that was our main strategy here.
Yep, so we're being the first couple links in our circuit, and our alliance partner is collecting from the stack to be the rest.
Robo Raiders right away grab 5 points and a high junction. They're going to be cycling cones out of the substation. Their manipulator is able to flexibly pick up some of these cones. Their robot backs up, rotates its entire upper mechanism to be able to place those cones without shifting their drivetrain. They're able to do that very quickly. Despite having the Mechanum wheels that would allow them to strafe, they choose to Lazy Susan their entire manipulator instead.
Throughout the day, during our 3rd or 4th match, we looked back at one of our previous matches, and we had our cycle time was about 4 to 5 seconds.
Okay, so yet again, the pathing at stage was a lot more difficult than qualifiers, and we ran into a lot of problems just ramming into our alliance partners and the other team, but we didn't get any ramming penalties or anything such.
Who still has the lead here in the end game. Circuit reclaimed by red. We're going to see a lot of action on this junction right here with Wormgear Warriors. Wormgear is going to shift their focus, though, it looks like. They might let Raiders walk right by them. Wormgear instead takes a low junction with their beacon in the final 3, 2, 1.
In this match, we felt like our team did pretty well, better than the last 2 matches. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough because Autonomous didn't work again, and the other team's Autonomous was amazing.
And we got penalties, which also didn't help. So going into the day, Aiden was pretty confident of getting a 4-1 record. I think that we could possibly get a 3-2 record. The one match that we were really worried about was this match. However, this is the one match that we tied, and we did not lose.
Yeah, so I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to see if they released the matches, and they did. And I spent a lot of time taking data against the other teams. And this is the match that I thought we would lose, but I'll explain later why we didn't lose this match. So in this match, we were hoping for our Autonomous to work because we were very confident from the fixes that we did in our pits, but unfortunately something went wrong again. But our alliance partners picked up for us, and their Autonomous ran looks like 5 cones onto that high junction.
Did have a preload cone, but that cone has made its way back to the playing field floor with Titans. Coming out of auto, we do see
So here again, it would have been nice to run through a match with our alliance partner. There was lots of pathing and communication that we could have done much better.
Checking out the score, we have a
Here our robot stopped. Fortunately, that was our only time that did stop.
And it only stopped for a brief second. In the past, we've had it like fully disconnect and it would take maybe 20 seconds to restart. However, as soon as the error showed up on the driver station, it was ready, the tele-up was ready to start again.
So here we felt like our alliance partners, they were very confident in their abilities in cycling. So so after a lot of talking and planning, they were the cycle team, and we were the team that tried to go for that circuit. So here we put a cone in the far terminal, and now we put one in this close terminal.
At this point, the coach of the other team told us that it would be better if we just collected from the stack since we were getting in the way of the other robot so much with the substation. So we tried doing that, but our collection is really not suited for collecting from the stack easily.
Every once in a while, we would have issues with our lift. Since it uses a distance sensor, if someone were to push against, it would kind of mess up the distance sensor. And so as a driver, I would basically have to reset it. And so at that cone stack, when we were trying to collect that cone, it pushed down onto the cone, but it wasn't collecting. It messed up the distance sensor, and that's why we weren't able to collect off the stack.
So to make it easier for me to tell Austin and Aiden where to place a cone, we have each junction labeled on an XY coordinate plane. And so I told them to go to 4-5, which is that low junction. I guess they heard 5-4, so they went to the other one right after I said that, but then they went back to the correct one, and that wasted a lot of time.
In the final 3, 2, 1.
So in this match, at the end of the match, they scored it to where we lost by 21 points, which was inaccurate. So after the match, I went up to the question box because to me it seemed like they didn't fairly score the match correctly. And after debating it for 45 minutes, we were able to get the points that we thought we deserved, and the match ended up as a tie. Okay, in this match, Autonomous is running again. We scored the preloaded, but unfortunately, our collection and delivering just didn't work. But we did park in the correct signal zone for like the first time.
As here you can see, the rubber band was just a little too taut, so it was pulling it at a steeper angle than we wanted. So it was able to collect, but it just kind of spit him out over the junction.
So our strategy, basically, this match was to cycle onto the high and then have our alliance partners be the team that spread out all of the cones. We felt like that was a fantastic strategy just because we meshed well together.
And that first cone we already had in our collection, so we just put it on the left high.
From where we were standing, it was left high.
The score remains tight. A minute and a half remaining. Both Alliance human players working quickly to get cones into the substation, cycling them out to their robots down on the playing field.
And there we go.
So the same thing that happened at the cone stack is what happened again at this high junction. It lowered itself onto the high junction, which got caught into our collection, which made a robot tip over.
After our qualifier, we talked about different ways that we can prevent tipping, and we figured out that the main problem was just that our turntable screws were loosened enough that it had that wobble. But this is a different problem than what we had as the main tipping event at our qualifier. And so we didn't find an easy way to fix that problem quickly enough, so there's nothing we really could have done to prevent this. So as you can see, our robot definitely didn't perform as high as we were hoping at the state championship. But we have lots of plans to make our Autonomous super consistent and to continue strategies for the World Championship to do as well as we can there.
And our goal is to have our record above 500, meaning we have to at least win 6 of our 11 matches at Worlds.
We'll see how that goes. All right, this video probably wasn't as interesting as some of our other ones, but thank you so much for watching it. Hope you're able to learn what not to do for your coming competitions. And thanks for watching, and peace out, and bye-bye.
However,
Whoa!
So,
Alright.
So as you can,
So throughout.
Yo!
Say it. Smile.
what are you eating?
She's eating my fruit snack.
Alright.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel.
Subscribe, like,
Oh,
have fun, bye.
Alright, we're deleting this.
You touch my legs.
Excuse me, Cal.
Are you still here?
Excuse me, what?
Hi guys.
You still need to
Nathaniel's
make
stressed,
me-
guys.